You know, we always talk about making sales, but rarely do we ever talk about why we break sales. And I thought we would talk about that today on how salespeople lose sales. So, number one is a lot of salespeople, they miss sales because they pre-qualify. Listen, the FBI works for the FBI, and if you're out there guessing who can buy and who can't buy, I'm going to tell you right now it's going to cost you a ton of money. Pre-qualifying is when you walk out there or you look at a customer and you're like, no, they can't buy, or they're buried in their trade, or they probably owe too much money, or their credit isn't good enough. Listen, the reason why the fabulous new guy or fantastic new girl sells more than the old guy is because they're not pre-qualifying. Give everybody the benefit of the doubt that they're there to buy a car today, and I guarantee you, you will write up more customers. Number two is we take shortcuts. Yeah, you know, what's happened to the selling process today, it's kind of gotten compressed. Basically, what most salespeople do today is they go from the greeting right to the presentation, drop the price, let's go inside, and let's go see what we can do. Listen, shortcuts are pay cuts. You've got to prove to the customer that they can buy and quit proving that they can't buy. So take them all the way through the sales process. I know what you're saying. Well, I don't want to take the time to find out if they can buy because every now and then I write them up and I don't have anything. All I can tell you is this. The more people you put on paper, the more cars you're going to sell. Number three is we don't demo. We ask for the demo, and then the customer says, oh no, we've already driven it, or we just drop the price very quickly, and then we run inside, and then we got to gang up on the manager. Listen to me. The highest point of the sale, the most emotional point of the sale is the demonstration. People need to have mental ownership before financial ownership. So if you drive more, I guarantee you, you will write more. Number four, this was the one that probably kills most salespeople's career on the installment plan is they don't ask for the order. For some reason, salespeople are afraid to ask for the order. Don't ever be afraid to ask for the order. The worst thing you'll ever hear is no. Now, what you got to be careful of is that you're not buying false objections. And for the rest of your career, you're always going to hear, we need to think about it, sleep on it, pray on it. First place, just checking. Got to check with my wife, check with my spouse. We're going to keep shopping. We're going to compare. You're always going to hear that. Don't be afraid to ask for the order, okay? Number five, it's the way we dress. Yeah, the way we dress. What do you mean? That costs us sales? Well, for some reason, a lot of salespeople went down to the relaxed look. Now, they took off the tie, they took off the vest, they took off the jacket, and the next thing you know, it looks like they're wearing the same clothes that they use to run around town or work around the house. They're bringing those clothes to work. Listen. People want to buy from a professional. There's three things that a customer buys when they come into a dealership. Number one is they buy you, they buy the product, and they buy the dealership. That is the selling triangle. Look at yourself. If your shoes look like they're shined with a brick, you might need to polish them up. If your clothes are out of date, you might need to change your wardrobe. If you're smoking, joking, cussing, spitting, and doing all that kind of car stuff, you need to get rid of that stuff. You need to get back to being a pro. Number six is you got a bad attitude. Listen, I can't tell you how many times I've heard salespeople lose a sale because they had a negative mental attitude. You're always going to hear the word no, and at some point when you've exhausted all efforts to sell that customer today, you got to let them go. And when they go, you have to learn how to say next. What you don't want to do is carry that no with you all day long, because what will happen is the next customer will come in, you won't have your game face on, and you're not going to be ready to sell. And that reminds me, and let's finish it up with this. One of the biggest reasons why salespeople are taking shortcuts is because they don't train, they don't improve, and they don't know their product. If you don't know your product, you cannot remain enthusiastic. And that's what sells people. It's enthusiasm, and it's your belief in the product. All selling is convincing. Convincing is persuading. Persuading is getting people to take action, and the word action means right now. Don't be afraid to ask for the order, and remember, shortcuts or pay cuts. Don't take the shortcuts, then you don't have to take the pay cut.